LEGO is getting ready to retire hundreds of LEGO sets this year at the end of 2025. And in today's video, I wanted to focus on 10 LEGO sets that are going to shoot up in price tag after they retire and are sold out. For example, Diagon Alley is already sold out and nowhere to be found. And we're going to use today's sponsor of today's video, eBay, to help us score some deals on these sets. eBay is the home of all collectible markets and a great place for shopping for deals and discounts. But did you know they also had retired LEGO sets like that one Diagon Alley that we just talked about? Not only that, they have live streams where you can bid on live auctions and get some of the best deals on the market. And it's not just LEGO, because we have trading cards like Pokemon, we have Labubus, we have apparel, LEGO, of course, because Stud City streams every single Thursday and Sunday, and with the holiday season approaching, I'll be streaming a lot more and offering some of those retiring soon LEGO sets for an absolute deal, because I'm going to start them all off at $1. So hopefully we could see you in some of those live streams. But seriously, I better see you swiping the card in some of our live auctions, because I'm literally going to run a lot of these sets we're going to talk about today by the end of the year throughout our streams. But a huge thank you to eBay for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's take a look at 10 other LEGO sets that are retiring that you should buy before they're gone. What's up, everybody? It's your host here, Cristo from Stud City. And like I mentioned, a lot of these sets are retiring and I don't want to miss out on them. So they're definitely sets I've been accumulating to auction off at $1 for some of our future live streams, which I think will be a lot of fun. But anyways, there are still some available, and I wanted to cover 10 that I think are going to be great investment pieces and just great sets that you don't want to miss out on, whether you're a collector, builder, or even that LEGO investor. Anyways, to kick things off, we have the Black Chan Renegade. This is a very short shelf-lived LEGO set because it released January 1st, 2025, and is going to retire at the end of 2025. And I think that's kind of crazy and not typical for this day and age as far as LEGO sets go. But this one retails at $100. We have not seen a lot of deals and discounts on it throughout the year, and I'm expecting a nice flash sale by the year end. So I'm definitely waiting out. My buy range for this one is going to be under $80. At that point, I feel like that would be pretty safe spot to start grabbing a few copies of this one, because I think this is going to be a great investment piece. The next LEGO set here is going to be the 2 modular buildings retiring at the end of the year. Personally, I invest in these sets because I don't really care if I'm left holding them, because the modular buildings have been some of the best LEGO sets I've ever got to build and experience. I think the overall experience, build experience you get from these sets is better and unlike any other LEGO sets on the market as a whole, kind of talking. And I just think for that reason, I'm always safely going to buy these. Anyways, Jazz Club and Boutique Hotel are equally great sets, and 2 sets that I've definitely shifted gears and kind of focused on even at their retail price point. However, we have some nice deals on Boutique Hotel, but Jazz Club as well, but it's been very short-lived as far as those deals go. So I can't stress this enough. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notification bells so you don't miss out on these deals, because they go so fast. The next LEGO set here is one that is retiring at the end of the year, of course, is Ninjago City Markets. Personally, I'm a huge attachment to Ninjago, and this set is just pretty awesome. I love the modular buildings. I think they're some of the best modular buildings from, like, modular aspects, right? But Ninjago City Markets offered some really epic LEGO Ninjago minifigures and overall a fun build experience. I think this gondola here was unlike we've seen in any other LEGO set to date, and it was a really cool time building this. Anyways, it's a fun set, comes with great figs. I'm a Ninjago fan. It's a must-have for me, and I definitely want at least one more copy sealed in my collection before it's gone, even though it is at a high price tag of $370. You can't go wrong with Ninjago City. I think these are going to be great ones. The next one here is a little bit different. It's big. It comes in a really boring box art. The black box art for this one absolutely killed it. I think it just crushed the overall aesthetics of this box. But anyways, the LEGO set itself is actually still pretty fun. Anyways, it's the Disney Castle. It comes with 8 minifigures. It's the second Disney Castle that's officially been in this Icons theme and has done at this grand scale. Personally, I like the first one a lot better, but this one is still pretty cool. I really like the gold accents, but the minifigures in the other previous version by far spoke to me better and were just so much better in my eyes. But that's just me. 2 different variations of a castle. Some people like this one, some like the other one. It's kind of preference. Anyways, the OG one, it retailed for $350. So this one saw a $50 increase in price. Take that with how you will. I think there's more minifigs in this one, but I'd rather have the other minifigures. But anyways, retiring at the end of the year is definitely a must-have castle for Disney fans. So I think you can't go wrong on the LEGO investment side of things, and this would surely be a set you don't want to miss out on because, like anything IP'd, a lot of these sets go up in price point after they retire. Speaking of Star Wars being one of those themes that's gone pretty crazy in price tags after they retire, the Ultimate Collector Series X-Wing Starfighter, relatively long on the shelf life, but this is a really fun looking set. I think the build experience here was pretty interesting. It's really big. Like, I was not expecting the set to be so big after I constructed it, but I think it's very fragile, and I think it's super flawed in that aspect. But at the end of the day, it is a UCS X-Wing. It's a fun set. It's one of the most desirable LEGO ships in Star Wars, and it's retiring at the end of the year, and I think that deserves some attention. It retails for $240, and I've been very fortunate to find some of these in store for a pretty hefty discount. But as far as online goes, I think the best deal we've ever seen it, at least to the masses, was around $200, so nothing too crazy. Aside from that, we've seen some promotions during like May the 4th, end of year sales in years past, but it's definitely one we're going to wait out for this year because I think they will go on heavy discounts. So my advice is probably to wait on this one unless you have to have it. I think it will go on sale under $200, and at that point I think would be just a good purchase. Speaking of sets that went on sale in years past, this one is actually surprisingly went out for 20% off discount. Yeah, it was down for 20% off. So Lion Knight's Castle is one of the most desirable sets in my eyes this year, given that it is fantasy era, 90-year anniversary of LEGO, Lion Knight's Castle. I mean, this is a really cool set and definitely a collector piece. It's going to be sad to see this one leave the shelves, but with that being said, from a builder, collector, investor, this is definitely one that has our eyes on from a lot of people, not just ourselves. It's at $400, which I think is hefty, but last year during Black Friday, it went on that 20% off discount. Will it be on track to do that again this year? Only time will tell, but with inventory levels of this one continuing to be available throughout the year, I would expect it to probably go on sale. So that's my thoughts and opinions. If you don't want to miss out on it, maybe you don't burden that risk. But for me, I'm definitely waiting out for a deal on that one. And at that point, I would definitely pick it up. The next LEGO sets are going to be two LEGO Star Wars sets. The first one here is the Onyx Cinder. I think this is an interesting set. I think it's definitely a niche audience. However, it is calling back to the Skeleton Crew, which is a live action from Star Wars. So I think that is going to make this set perform well later down the road, especially if for whatever reason we get more seasons of Skeleton Crew, which fingers crossed. I really enjoyed the show, and I honestly have really enjoyed a lot of LEGO Star Wars shows. So I feel like this would be an awesome set to buy multiple copies of. Anyways, it comes with some solid minifigures. I don't think the best minifigures in line, but there are some pretty great characters from the show. I would just wish we got more, right? And also, it's a little strange that we got this set considering the ship got demolished, just like the Razor Crest. Why? Speaking of the Razor Crest, another one that just makes no sense to me. But I actually can't believe this is retiring because it's, it got blown up, right? Like, they made a UCS Razor Crest, it got blown up in the ship, and then on top of it, they have the ship in the movie that's coming out in 2026. It is no brainer unless obviously they're making another one. It's just the assumption you can make if they're retiring this one, but it's crazy to me that they're retiring the UCS Razor Crest unless they're kind of forced to. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. They have the movie coming out in 2026. It's known. The trailer's out. Yada, yada, yada. It's in the movie. Why retire the set? Like, fans are going to be over the moon about it. So anyways, this is definitely one we've seen go on hefty discount. I think the $600 price tag, even for the time that this one came out 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, I think it was just overpriced. But at $600, we've seen a nice deal on this one. I think I ended up picking mine up just sub $400, which for me, I think is pretty rational, decent price point. Honestly, it could have been under $400. I literally picked this up over 2.5 years ago, which is pretty crazy. But I think it was a Black Friday sale with promos, insane discount, and so much more. Will this go on sale this year? Absolutely. I don't even have any regards that it won't. I think this will be a hefty discount, and honestly, I think near the $400 is probably where we will land. So if you're waiting out for this one, my recommendation is you probably will find it on deep discount, whether it's from LEGO or from other retailers, because believe it or not, this is a set that other retailers do have. And lastly, probably a great retiring set is one that I actually have not bought yet and want to buy to build for my personal collection, although if it was a really good discount, trust me, I would definitely scoop this up to, buy it as an investment piece because I think this one's going to do well in the long term. But it's the Batman the Animated Series Gotham City. It comes with 4 awesome minifigures that are quite expensive in the aftermarket because I think most of them are unique to this set. Regardless, it's a fun set. You can hang it on the wall. I love the art style build LEGO sets, and this is one I just want to build. Anyways, our Discord server found this on sale for $240 or $237, somewhere in that price tag. It was a really good deal. It was at Walmart, but it went boom very quickly. So if you weren't a member of our Discord server, which is free by the way, you missed out on that deal. So sucks to be you and sucks to be me because I slept that one. It was one I was busy streaming at Tell me about it. Anyways, that's a set that's retiring at the end of the year that has a lot of attention, and I think is going to be a great one as an investment piece as well as collectors. Anyways, I'm curious to see what your favorite Lego set from this list is. Is there anything that I didn't cover that you would factor in as the top 10 Lego sets retiring in 2025, which is just months away? And subscribe if you haven't already. Swipe the card responsibly, like today's video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.